Hi everybody, it's Derek at Hi-Fi Resale Shop. Today is already February 3rd, Monday. We had 11 things sell over the weekend. Usually we have about 13 things sold over the weekend, except for the fourth quarter where we have a lot more items sell. But usually it's about 13, trying to get that up. But I really haven't done anything in the last few days. Sunday I don't normally work. It's the Lord's Day, so I give the time to the Lord and my family, make sure I'm paying attention to what's going on in my life, the blessings that I have around me. But Saturday we had like a birthday party at Fritz's Adventure in Branson, and we spent all day there. So really didn't get a chance to do anything on Saturday. And then Friday was I took a little trip to Wichita with a buddy. That video will be coming out probably later this week. I got to do a little editing. But took a trip to Wichita and checked out a used bookstore, used CDs, all kinds of media. So they had CDs, books, Blu-rays, audio books, video games, and that's what my friend was interested in looking at. He's trying to find new ways to source video games. Being a top eBay seller on video games, it's kind of difficult. So he was looking into that, and I looked at the used CDs. So that video will be coming out sometime this week. But we're going to go through the things that sold over the weekend. Again, 11 items up until this morning. There were a couple questions on jewelry last night, and I don't think those are going to I'm not going to make those sales because I just don't think the listings were clear on what it was. So I don't think the person's probably going to be interested in it, but nonetheless, they might when all things are said and done, but I don't think they are. So let's go through the things that sold. The first thing is a Champion NCAA hoodie. Let's see where that is. Okay, it's a Yale extra large brown hoodie, and Champion logo on it, so it's got to be on the sleeve, right? There's the Champion logo on it, so it's probably like an old school style. It could be vintage, but I didn't put that in the title. This sold for $16.50 plus shipping on top, so that was a pretty good sale. The next item was a new DVD, new old stock. I've never heard of Claire Marlowe. Let It Go. I've never heard of that before, but it was new. It's sealed, and it had a price tag back here, but it's been torn off. This sold for $25 plus shipping on top. Probably pretty rare that that's still sealed. So the next item was a CD as well. This is new sealed Glenn Miller 3 CD set with Jazz and Swing. The next item was a book, Inglenook Cookbook. People are looking for these old cooking recipes, finding the lost ways that our grandmothers and stuff had, or in some people's cases great grandmothers, without all the crap they put in foods now. So this book didn't sell for too much. It sold for $4 plus shipping on top. I think that's the second time that book sold. I think it was returned the first time. I don't really remember why. The next item is this blouse. It is like a denim cropped blouse. It is a medium. It's a size 10, and it sold for $6 plus shipping on top. The next item that's sold is this Super Bowl teddy bear from Super Bowl, the 2000 Super Bowl. I don't know what Super Bowl number that is. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to figure it out. I think it was a Rams Super Bowl versus the Titans, it says, and this sold for $9.99. Let's see, what's the next thing? Pair of pants sold. American Eagle medium wash, size 4, short, low rise denim blue jeans. So these jeans, there's no holes, fashion holes in them or anything like that, and then it's got the basic pockets to them. This sold for $20 plus shipping on top, so that was pretty cool. The next item that sold was the Who CD. It's hard, and this CD sold for $8.99. Trying to look on the back to see if there's anything I know on here. Nope. None of the Who songs. All the Who songs that I know are like 70s. I don't know when this came out, but it's got the pinball player on the back, but it looks like he's playing a video game. But anyway, the next item that sold was this Dickies collared work shirt. So I put workwear in the title. Extra large. It's kind of tweedy, but it's not a tweed. And this dark gray extra large shirt sold for $14.99 plus shipping on top. I think I still have one of these, but it's like a burgundy red. The next item that sold was Marty Goetz Sanctuary. This used CD sold for $10 plus shipping on top. Had a hard time finding that CD because I was looking under. I knew it was Goetz, but I was looking under Stan, which I looked through the S's. It wasn't there, of course, because it's in the M's under Marty. So the next item, the last thing, is this t-shirt. It has an extra large, new with tags. There's the sticker right here. I don't know if there's an actual tag hanging off of it anywhere, but new with tags, new without tags. Okay, that's what it's saying. It's ivory one. It's a crew neck, and it's sold. It says Griswold's Family Tree Farm. Fun old-fashioned family Christmas. And this sold for $11 plus shipping on top. Pretty cool sale, being that it's after Christmas. So that's sold. I got a comment the other day in one of my YouTube posts, and let's go to that. Here it is. At eBay Resell Newbie. He wrote, really dope channel. Brother, any advice to a sincerely dedicated newbie eBay reseller who wants to make $20 to $30 a day starting out? Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here, even though it's a pretty simple question. Just off the top of my head, there is, if you're starting out, you're not going to make $20 to $30 a day. It's going to take a little bit of time to get to that point. Just be aware of that. It's not like instantaneously that you can get to $20 or $30 a day. It's not undoable. It's totally doable, but it's just going to take a little bit of time. I would say you probably are going to be 2 months in before you're seeing a sale every day. If you do it right, you can be 2 months in and start making sales every day. It's going to be more like um, 3 or 4 out of 7 days you're going to make a sale, and there's going to be a couple days where you don't make a sale. But you can make $20 on that single sale if your profit margin on that item is $20 to $30. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to sell many things to make a $20 or $30 profit, but you have to find the right items. So let's go through. I got 5 things here written down on what would help somebody who's new in the resale game make $20 to $30 a day. You know, move towards that level. Remember, I talk about levels, like there's levels that each different eBayer is at. We all can't be at the same level. We all can't be the number one seller in a category. So we have to work to that. The first thing is to list 1 or 2 items a day, or going back to look at your items that you've already listed and make them better. So I know that eBay puts limitations on people when they first start selling, like you can only put 10 listings up when you have 0 feedbacks, and they need to see you working on working on the listings and putting forth effort in the eBay area. So, but you have to list things. That's the thing. Oh my goodness. Sorry. You have to list things to make that happen. So eBay is a thing of activity. So they like to see you answering your emails. They like to see you listing items. They like to see you doing things on eBay. It makes the eBay feel good that you're a part of the process. So try and find things to list, 1 or 2 a day, that are good items. We as eBay sellers are like, anything will sell. You know, you can put up anything, it's weird, and it'll sell. This is true. There is a price for everything on there, but that's a double-edged sword. Not everything really is going to sell. It's just something that everybody says. But strange things do sell on eBay. So the one thing you want to look at is the things that have sold and what people have paid for similar items that you have. So you put in the search bar across the top of eBay what you're looking for, right? And it brings you the results. And you can look through the prices that are there. That's great. But if you never you go down to the left-hand side on the left-hand navigation on the computer, and you navigate to sold items, or on your phone, you filter it and just look at the sold items in that category that you were looking at, and then you'll see the true thing. Everything could be up for $75, but the only thing that sold were the ones for $35. So that really means that the market is at $35. And people continue to list items at $75 because they see that's what the active listings are going for. But a really seasoned veteran will be going in, looking at that, seeing it at $75 and saying, that's great. But then they go to the solds and they see everything sold for $35. They're going to mark theirs at $35 to $40, and they're going to be the first. They're going to be into the market, and they're going to be the first ones out of the market because they sold it at the correct price at what it was the going rate. So there's that. Make sure that you're buying items that people would want. Number 2, don't overbuy initially for inventory. So if you're buying, if you've decided that you're going to list 1 a day, then you need to have 7 items ready to go that week so that you can list 1 every single day. If you decided that you're going to list 2 a day, then you need to have 14 items that are ready to go that you're going to list every day, 2 items. Or you're going to pre-list all of the items and then release 2 drafts every day. So you could do it either way. I actually think that listing every day and putting them up in as soon as you're done, I think that has more of an effect, but I can't prove that. That's just speculation. So don't overbuy items. Don't have a big old pile of stuff that hasn't been listed yet. Most eBayers have a death pile, but everybody has theirs for different reasons. And if you could limit it and get rid of it, it just, clutter bogs you down, whether you think it bogs you down or not. And when we start getting rid of extra stuff that's sitting on our desk or extra stuff sitting around the office, we start to move faster. We start to do our job better because we're not bogged down by things. So 2, don't overbuy inventory initially. Just buy the things that you need to sell. Don't go out and buy shipping supplies and other eBay supplies right away. Just hold off on it. Most of the stuff you don't need. I think the only thing you're probably going to need is a scale to do that. I mean, your phone is good for taking pictures. I still use my phone to take pictures. Of course, I have my lighting and my backdrops here, and my mannequins, which no one should do. I mean, putting it on a mannequin is definitely not the greatest thing to do. Although I really believe that I get sales because people can see what the piece of clothing looks like on an actual, like, human body type of form. But I don't prescribe anybody to go get any mannequins if they're doing clothing. Flat lay is totally acceptable. And then packing supplies, just buy it as you need it, because if you're selling 3 items in a week, then you don't need all these packing supplies everywhere. If you need a box, either look through boxes of stuff that you gotten from Amazon, or run over to Dollar General or whatever and see if they're throwing some boxes away, and grab one that's clean-ish and is going to put you in a proper light when you ship it. Don't throw it in a cereal box or anything like that. People get really upset when people don't use proper boxes. Even though you are keeping, you're reusing and recycling. So make sure that you don't come against that mistake. So that was 3. 4, everything is important. And this is one thing that I did when I was, been in and out of reselling and stuff. And at times, things have been not important. Things have been important. But I've been at this a long time. So right now, I can't say that anything is, is not important. So I used to think that having average photos was okay, but then I realized that the photos are what sell the item. The description, no one is buying it from just the description. It's mostly the photos and the description, the listing title together. That's what sells the item. So you better have good pictures with really good lighting. It just means that it has to be well lit. Don't let it be a really dark photo. There's a brightening up tool on eBay. If you did a photo and it didn't turn out light enough, then just try that lighten up photo on the computer, on the eBay app, on the eBay page, and see if that helps. A lot of times it'll make it so it's a good enough photo. At one time I didn't think that shipping weights were very important because I was doing free shipping. But now that I do, the customer's paying the shipping, it's very important. because if I put in the amount, then my customer might not choose my item because the shipping is so much on the item. So, you gotta keep that in mind. Shipping weights need to get in there, and they need to be precise. Kind of have to figure out how much a box is going to weigh, so that you don't end up paying for shipping on each item. And then prices, you have to be competitive with the market. So you have to make sure you know what that thing is selling for on eBay, and it's not just the active listings. You got to know what the sold items sold for. There is something to be said that if you think you're the best in your category, you can demand a premium, because other sellers will be selling it low, and you could stick to your guns and sell it a little bit higher because you know you add better customer service. Your your item is better. It's more stylish, something like that. It's got more add-ons to it. You definitely can do that, but just be aware it might take a little longer to sell, and that could be that. Let me see if there's anything else. Best titles. You need to know how to title your stuff. If you're putting up vintage items, you could write the word vintage out if you want, but also the eBay algorithm knows that VNTG, that means vintage. So it will pull up the item either way. So you have to know those little secrets to make sure that you're using the 80 characters really well. So 80 characters seems like a lot, and then when you have a lot to say, it doesn't seem like quite enough. So that. And number 5, understand what eBay is doing for you. I'm not a part of eBay reseller groups on Facebook, just because a lot of it's pandering to people who don't really want to do work, like figure out what their item is worth. I mean, sometimes, yeah, it'd be great to get some second opinion from somebody who's an expert, but a lot of people in there don't really do the work of trying to figure out what their item's worth. And you gotta be able to do that. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be selling on eBay. But I see a lot of people complaining about eBay as well, and a lot of times I don't understand it, because people kind of don't understand all that eBay is doing for you behind the scenes without you knowing, you really realizing it. You could cross post to hundreds of sites, but the amount of eyes that eBay has on your items is more than any of them, all the other ones combined, probably. So if you're doing your job right and you're putting your listing up to make it be seen, eBay is going to put it in front of people so that they can see it. And if you can't capture those customers, eBay's going to stop sending your listings up to people's eyeballs, because they're not choosing yours, they're choosing everybody else's. So you have to figure out where you're missing the mark on that. So if you have items with a lot of views and it doesn't sell, then you really have to wonder what's wrong with your listing. Is it the price? Is it the shipping? Are the pictures bad? That kind of stuff. So eBay does their job, and they get listings in front of people, and that's what they're supposed to do. You have to pick the good listings. The good items, and you have to create a good listing, and you have to do the customer service behind that good listing. So if somebody asks a question, I usually am answering that question within a half hour of it being asked. I had 2 questions last night after I had jumped into bed. I did not answer those until this morning, probably about an hour ago. But I mean, that's like the longest it's going to happen. Even on Sunday, I'll answer a question for somebody if it's just a straightforward, like easy question, like what materials are in this blouse or whatever. I'll answer it. So, with that said, those are the top 5 things I would recommend for somebody who is just starting out and wants to make $20 or $30 a day. When you get to more advanced levels, it's going to be stuff like getting your name out there in your town, so people are looking for you to get rid of stuff to, making those connections, being the guy that doesn't haggle all the time and just pays for good items. Then another thing would be having enough money saved. The next level would be having enough money from your business saved up, so when you see that amazing deal, you can jump on it and you don't have to start jumping through hoops to make it happen. You can make that deal so that you can get up to the next level of stuff. But the one last thing about getting from the level of $20 and $30 a day to another level is just make a decision after you've gotten to that level, and you increase your listing goal. Like instead of 1 to 2 items a day, you say you're going to list 4 or 5 items a day. And it doesn't have to be a huge listing goal. I myself, some days I'll list 20 items, other days I'll list 4 or 5. But every day, for the most part, I list. I had a 4-day stretch, 3 or 4 day stretch where I didn't list anything. 3 days where I didn't list anything, and like Thursday I didn't list but 2 or 3 items. So that is why my sales on the weekend probably look pretty poor. It's because I didn't list anything. So I can only blame myself. So with that being said, I hope I answered your question, eBay resell newbie. I hope that was sufficient. If you have any other comments or questions, you can leave them down below. Please let your friends know about this channel, like and subscribe. And remember, Jesus loves you, and always give yourself a high five. See you next time.